Welcome back. Now, the infamous Yahoo memo that's told all its employees they have to work out of office and not their homes anymore. It stirred a worldwide debate. The question is whether people are really less productive when they work from home, or do you actually get more out of those who get the job done from their homes?
An office memo that started it all off. Yahoo's note to employees abolishing its work-at-home policy and ordering everyone to work in the office. The memo, which was leaked to industry blogs, says, "We need to be working side by side. Speed and quality are often sacrificed when we work from home. We need to be one Yahoo, and that starts with physically being together." CEO Marissa Mayer's surprise move instantly turned her from a young celebrity CEO to a controlling boss.
Where many believe that a physical office space is essential to enhance productivity and to encourage a common corporate culture, many out there think otherwise. They believe that hours are lost telecommuting and the crucial work-life balance gets disrupted, a fact which is especially important for working moms. Now, interestingly enough, Marissa Mayer, the CEO of Yahoo, is seen as a role model by those working moms because she was the youngest CEO in all Fortune 500 companies in history and was 7 months pregnant when she took on the job.
I assume it has to do with cost and productivity, and there are things that they could build into the culture that assure that the productivity is there. They may just need to think through it a little bit longer.
I am against it. If you're able to work from home, why not work from home? I mean, especially with this economy right now and the prices of gas and commuting back and forth, it's probably better to work at home.
Yahoo is an internet company, supposedly progressive, so you'd think that they would be on the cutting edge of the new lifestyle that people are involved with these days.
I think they ought to just let them work from home.
Responding to the outcry, Yahoo immediately issued a statement. This isn't a broad industry view on working from home. This is about what is right for Yahoo right now. The move comes at a time when Yahoo is losing out to internet giants like Google and is in dire need to reinvent itself. Mayer's message to her people is, either you are in or you are out. With Namrata Brar in New York, Soumya Menon, NDTV.
So does working from home decrease productivity? That's what we're asking on the show tonight. And we have an interesting panel joining us this evening. We have Sairee Chahal, the co-founder of Fleximoms, who's here with us in the studio in Delhi. Also joining us shortly from Bangalore will be Sangeeta Lala, the Senior Vice President of Team Lee Services Limited. Payal Aggarwal, who's with the CII and a chartered accountant. She's someone who's been working from home for about a year now, I believe, and you're really happy doing it. Let me ask you first, how come you started working from home? What prompted it? And you're happy with it?
Yeah, I'm more than happy with that. Actually, I was working in a CA firm previously. Then I got pregnant and with twins. And when I was 7 months pregnant, I heard about Fleximoms. I called them up. I registered myself, and then I came across CII. They employed me, and it's been more than a year I've been working from them. I am happy, and they are also more than happy.
And it's worked out fine. You don't miss the office. You don't miss going to office.
It's a new lease of life for me.
And you feel that it's productive. The CII
productive.
feels you're productive.
Yeah. Even CII feels that because it saves them on the overhead costs, and it saves me on their traveling time as well. And I can spend more time with my kids as well as stay in the office.
Okay, Sangeeta Lala, let me ask you, you hear an example of someone like Payal who's worked out of home. She's working with CII. It's worked for her. It's worked for CII as well. Does it necessarily mean that people who work out of home in all cases, that it doesn't work, that they're less productive? It actually might work in many cases. What do you think?
I think, the question here is about which industry you're working for and what is the stage of life that you are in your career. So say for Payal, it works great because she is a new mother and she needs that sort of a flexible career. But that is not the larger population of India or in the world today. It is a very significant population, I agree. But if you're looking at somebody who needs to scale a large team, who has a team where they need to bring in the ideation, the creation, the development, and the overall dynamics of the ethics and the culture of the team, it's very important to really show up in office end of the day.
Do you feel that it's also just better when people meet face to face, no matter what the job is, just sit across the table in that same office space? Do you think that somehow, because that's what the Yahoo memo also suggests, that it's, even a small conversation face to face makes a big difference?
Absolutely, I believe so. People are definitely more productive together. Otherwise, all of us would be behind the screen and working in our own silos. So today, what happens is that 9 out of 10 industries need a face-to-face interface because you're effectively creating a transaction in the business association that you're doing. So by that perspective, I think one of the challenges about working from home or working from office with the recent Yahoo memo which came out is going to be that how do you convince the younger generation, a Gen Y, and saying is that yes, you need to show up in office and you will be more productive, because they are obviously more vocal in saying that no, I can stay, I can telecommute and still be as productive. So that might be a challenge in times to come, but in as an overall scenario, I think yes, we are all productive all together.
You know, one of the things, Sairee, that the Yahoo memo says is that speed and quality are sacrificed when we work from home. You obviously don't agree with that.
Depends on the stage and the task at hand. So Yahoo is a company in transition. They're really pivoting. They're going from being a certain kind of company to being another kind. They do need hands on deck, and definitely it's a very, very personal issue for Yahoo to resolve it the way they would like to. Having said that, work from home is just one of the major workflex formats available to corporations today, and it's all about how can I find the best people and align them with what I am doing. So it might work for Yahoo today, it might change its stand tomorrow and say, hey, we want to build a workforce which is maybe more diverse, more global, maybe sitting in 20 countries at any given point in time. And then obviously work from home, workflex formats, and many other variables will kick in.
Well, what is the response in India to this, by and large, by Indian companies? Because working from home in India is definitely going to be very different from working from home in the United States.
Absolutely, but it's a growing trend for two reasons. One, I think the whole entrepreneurial startup culture is giving it a big boost. Two, a lot of businesses are very knowledge and service driven. The whole digital economy, the whole e-learning sector, the education, there are certain sectors which lend themselves to work from home and flex formats very beautifully. And there's an upward trend. So while there's no absolutism in business, but each of these is a case by case in saying, can we try this? This is a option available to us, and can we move down that road?
Okay, so Neela, what's wrong with that? I mean, can it be a one size fits all for everyone?
It's like going from one extreme to the other. I mean, if there is an individual in your organization which needs to work from home because she delivered twins or there's a situation and she's really bright, sure. I mean, if one person is working from home and the rest of them are working together, you can manage it. I think what's happened in Yahoo is that, for instance, when I was in Britannia, we started a thing of flexi timing. Okay, come in as long as you put in 8 hours. It didn't work because if somebody comes in at 11 and the other person is leaving and you need the two of them to interact, then he's willing to stay at 7. There was utter chaos. And I think Yahoo is going through the same kind of issue that, okay, work from home. So 50% are working from home, 50% are coming in. How do you run an organization? How do you work a process? How do you discipline everybody into a system? Unique people having unique, and then if you're an accountant preparing an income tax return, you can work from home because I've given you all my papers. If you're an IMRB research guy, you've got all the statistical interviews coming in, you can sit at home and work. But if you've got to come up with a situation, as the lady was saying, when you work for a creative decision. So working alone and working from home are two separate things altogether. You can actually be working alone in spite of coming to the office because you say, look, leave me alone, I'm going to do my work. You don't have to work from home. So I think to say that everybody can start working from home and everybody can start, then make the whole organization work from home. You can't have half the guys sitting in the office and half the guys sitting at home. How do you relate to them?
So
individuals, yes, I agree.
So here's what has happened. Because the number of these individuals has kept growing, there are 30 million women who dropped out from the corporate formats because we don't allow, not from the same organization, but
so I am
bit by bit we've come to a situation where talent crunch, lack of women in workforce is a real thing. 30 million women are out of workforce in the corporate sense.
They
can't balance
because they can't be they can't be doing 9 to 9.
And you know what? One second. You know what Levers has done? Come to Bombay and see their head office. They've got a massive creche. The people come with their kids. and they've got the best teachers there, they've got the best maids there, they got the parents, the mother can go up and work and not worry. So is it organizations should deal with this problem in a more constructive manner,
by having creches,
rather than saying no, work from home? I mean, and you're saying 50 million.
I think that Payal, does your organization have a creche?
Work from home from Yahoo's perspective is really a woman-centric issue.
Correct.
Because if you look at it, a very large component of IT companies, or in Yahoo for that matter, work from home were actually men.
Yeah.
I don't think, for India it may be a gender-specific issue that we're talking about, but worldwide or globally, work from home is a male, female, there's no gender bias at all.
I agree.
So yes, I think one of the things is that the HR policy has to be conducive to, so as not to encourage a work from home, like a budding mother or somebody who has to take care of ailing parents. But it's a very different issue altogether, whether a guy wants to come into office or not, and for what reasons.
But Payal, you know, one of the sort of big arguments that's been made against working from home is that, okay, how does your boss know that you haven't fallen asleep at the computer? Though I have to say, I see many people in the office who fall asleep anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
You answered your own question.
Yeah.
If you're not disciplined, it doesn't matter whether you are in your office or at your home.
But you know, you still have the fear of the boss. I mean,
no, you are your own boss. You are your own boss.
Sit up when the boss walks by.
If it's a project driven.
So we're saying face time is equal to productivity at one level, which is so wrong, especially given the knowledge and service driven economy. Ultimately, you have to hire for skill, you have to manage for flex, and you have to seek recourse in process. That's what you do in office, and that's what you do.
No, but how? But you know, there'll be other employees who'll say, well, how do you know that she's not taking a 2-hour power nap?
Well, that's part of how you.
It's a part of my work. It's part of my job.
It has to be
I need to deliver my work.
As long as the results are there.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be result driven.
You know, so then should it matter? Should it matter whether people put in 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day? As long as they're doing what they're assigned to do.
I come back again and say,
if they do the same job in 2 hours, isn't that a good thing?
Perfect. All I'm saying is that if you've got somebody to deliver an income tax return and you've got a CA, whether they work from home or whether they work from anywhere else, fine. That's a specific thing. But if I have to create a campaign for a soap, I mean, how am I going to say, okay, the copywriter is sitting in the office, the visualizer is sitting at home, because it's a team that creates a campaign. So either all of them sit in somebody's home, which again means you're back to office, or are you going to say, so it is industry specific, it's individual specific, and giving global numbers means nothing. What percentage of that is in an organization? I can say...
How do organizations who are diverse and global and multiple teams and multiple projects do it? They collaborate, they set processes, they align themselves to goals, and they work together.
Don't mislead on this at all. What they do is once a month or once a week, they say for 1 hour, everybody around the globe will get onto a video conference. But if you are saying 24 hours, 7 days a week, no organization works like this. Not a single one. So let's not mislead. I'm with you saying it's a very specific thing for an organization, for specific people, for specific industries. You cannot
personal interaction is
generalize.
Because that's the other thing, that it's critical to be working side by side. Again, I'm quoting from the memo, that interactions and experiences are only possible in our offices. And many experts say that even standing next to that coffee machine with that terrible coffee in it and talking to another colleague of yours is an important exercise.
It's an important exercise, definitely. You can't rule that out. But you also have to keep in mind, what does productivity mean? If I'm spending 2 hours on the road every day trying to come to work, and my state of mind is less than happy, I am stressed, I'm worrying about my other variables, what my day is going to look like, I don't know how productive I'm going to be. And that's a rut we've all got into. It's such an industrial mindset.
Sangeeta, does it mean that people who end up doing that 2-hour commute to work, or many would probably do a 1-hour commute to work more realistically, are they more stressed, therefore less productive? Would it be, better off to outsource their work to home? Of course, it depends on the industry you're working in.
I don't think so. I don't think so. See, end of the day, when you get into a cycle, what happens is when you have an in time, out time, how do you plan your day backwards? You sort of plan your day in saying, what time do I wake up to, when do I get started for office? So when you do that, it gets into a cycle. You have to see the trade-off of which is more beneficial for the organization or for the employee, in whether I go to office and interact with my team and get the recognition and get the idea and the creativity to perform better, or do I sit at home and stay in a rut? A common problem is that if you work from home, you will probably be bypassed in in the increments or the appraisals or the recognition that you get. It's a possibility, because end of the day you are not social in your work environment. You don't get noticed. Yes, you get a productivity chart, you get a time sheet, you get an output, but when you have a team of 100 people working, you obviously will get sidelined in some sense. So you have to see what is going to be my trade-off. Is it going to be my daily commute of an hour a day, or is it going to be the fact that a 6-month appraisal down the line I can highlight what I contributed to the team. Also, another example is that suppose, say, I lead a team today. If I'm a work from home person, what is the example I will set?
Well. But the point she's making is that aren't you worried that your appraisal might not be as great as the person who comes to office every day?
No, my work is such that even if I go to the office, I'll sit in my cabin and I'll do my work.
You work alone. That's what I'm saying. So working alone and working at home. I don't know if you saw this little thing on everybody loves
the
Raymond.
The point is that would be true of Yahoo as well. But they're now requiring physical presence in the office.
Because the teamwork. You cannot do this without teamwork.
So we don't know what the Yahoo internal story is. This could also be a way of saying, hey, we need to retrench, and the ones who can come in are in, and ones who cannot come in are out. And that's possibly a story. However,
well, that's an extreme, but I really think that Yahoo is that they are losing out on
America,
innovation.
They want to retrench, they retrench.
No. I think the larger public would say that Yahoo is losing on innovation.
I agree with you. America will retrench without going around in any way. So please let's not mislead the public. I'm with you, but by throwing all these red herrings, this is why they're doing it. You should see that everybody loves Raymond. I'm going to make a slightly lighter thing, and she insists on her husband coming home because he's a sports writer. Why do you go to the office, and he stays at home for one day, and she says, please go back because you're causing a great mess by staying at home. But look, there are people who can work as an individual if your job is an individual. Can you imagine if you have to work as a team in CII to produce a financial report? To produce a financial report for the government. Yes. Then you will need to go to work.
Again, we are working as a team there as well. We produce our own pieces, then we get them together, and email is always there.
Oh, so you all take all individual accountants, give their view, and then one guy puts in.
No, it's not an accounting job.
I'm just saying a finance, or take anything. If you're a finance person,
the point is, she said it's
policy.
A salesman will say, I'll tell you what I can do in Patna. Another guy will say what I can do in Kanpur.
But it works for you. Whatever it is, it works. It works for you.
It works beautifully for you.
It works fantastic for you. It may not work so well for others. I wish I could work from home, but it will not work for me.
My wife would throw me out if I was working from home.
Well, I'll have to leave it at that. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us tonight, and that's it on the program this evening. Like I said, I wish I could work from home, but that probably wouldn't work very well at all. I'll see you all on Monday. Goodbye.